Hello, you guys. So, this video is about why I think of married men as sexually and affair incompetent. Because they're handicapped. They can't see you whenever you want. They can't text you whenever you want. They can't call you whenever you want. They can't come over whenever you want. Say that you're having like an affair with some married guy and he left something over here, say he left, I don't know, something, a book or something, and you want him to come back and get it. How many days before he can actually come back and get it? He's got to sneak away. He's got to find a time to get away from the wife. And even just to arrange when he can come over, he has to be careful when he can text you, when he can get away to come by. And he can only get away when the wife is out playing golf or tennis with her friends, or she's on vacation with her sisters, or he's out of town. They're very limited in their availability, and to me that's a turn off. I like a guy who's in charge of his calendar, a guy who's like, I'm not coming into work today, I'm going to work from home, or I'm going to come in late today. I like guys like that. And I don't like guys who are like, okay, after 5 o'clock, the wife is home, I cannot text. Or they have to sneak into the bathroom to text me because the wife is at home. That is a turn off to me. Now, some people might find that attractive. They might like that. So I'm not going to tell you, what you should do. I'm just sharing that I find married men um, hamstrung, disabled, amputees. They have no power. They're powerless. They are beholden to their wife, and they are sort of prisoners of their homes. They're prisoners of the wife. They have to sneak around. They have no power. They're weak when it comes to dating. They're not ready. And it's a long step from, oh, my wife doesn't treat me well, I'm going to leave her, to actually leaving her, being divorced, and getting his own place. That's a huge fucking step that men you are not going to take unless they're actually very miserable, because you got to face the kids, you have to face the community, you have to split your house, your finances, your security, your attachment, your whole meaning in life gets shifted. And it's like quitting heroin. And most guys are never going to do it. So having an affair with a married man, to me, is just walking into the fire of pain. It's just asking for pain, because I always hear about these women who fall in love with a married guy. He says he's going to leave his wife, but he's full of shit. He's just leading her on because he's a piece of shit. And see this beautiful lotus leaf up above me? There's some joy and some light. But these married guys are like going to cause pain, because women get attached to them and they're not going to leave their wife. Unless it's a woman who's like, I don't want to leave my husband, I just want to have an affair, and she finds it exciting. You do you. This is my video. This is why I don't like them. I don't like married men because they don't have time, so they're hamstrung. They're not free and powerful. Number two, they have to sneak around. I do not like sneaking around. I don't find it sexy or attractive. Number three, they're emotionally unavailable. And to me, I have a history of being with emotionally unavailable men. That is my history of pain with men. All my pain with men comes from emotionally unavailable single men. So why would I want to up the ante with being a married man? I am really working on changing my patterns. And finally, if the wife finds out, oh my God, that would just be really bad. I've also seen women who were like, I met this woman once who was an alcoholic because she was so distraught over being in love with her boss who wouldn't leave his wife. And they say all this stuff like, oh, my wife doesn't understand me and you do. And oh, my wife won't have sex with me. And, they give you all these sob stories to get sympathy. But basically, what they need to do is face the stuff in their own life. Of course, marriages are complicated. And sometimes you want to stay in your marriage for these other reasons or the sake of the kids. And some guys can really, like, separate things out. Like, I'm going to fuck this woman, but I'm not going to leave my wife. I can't judge that because, we all have our own flaws and ways that we cope with our lives. But for me, I'm not looking for pain. I'm not looking for pain anymore. And even after I got divorced, I got a little bit emotionally attached to these different men that were single but unavailable. So to me, a man who's unavailable is a man I do not want. I do not want. I am just done with that. So for me, I look for men who are emotionally available, who are sensual, who want to take things slow. That's what I'm looking for. If I were to look for a guy to hook up with, and I'm not, I would suggest if any of you who are watching this video want to like get some tips, I would look for a guy in his 30s, like a career-oriented professional guy. These guys are attractive, they're sensual, they're fit, they're successful. They're not quite ready to get married, or maybe they're in between relationships. And I would just have an affair with a guy like that. These guys are available, that you don't have to sneak around, worry about getting caught. But maybe for some people, they like the excitement of being with someone who's married. There's a taboo about it. There's like, well, I don't have a husband, so I'll take yours. Can be a little bit of a kink thing about it. But just to know that the number of men who actually leave their wives for the mistress is like 1%. My dad actually did leave my mom for one of his mistresses, one of the many, but the other ones just had their hearts broken. Um, so it does happen, but it's pretty rare. To me, I just noticed that I have a friend right now who is having a relationship with a married man. She's actually like a sugar baby. And he left something over at her place. I can't remember what it was she said. I think it was a book or something he brought with him to show her. And he left it over there and he needs to get it back. And it's been like a week and he hasn't been able to come by to pick it up because she's been trying to text her as to when he's in her neighborhood. And he has to text her when the wife isn't around. And then she wasn't, my friend wasn't around for him to get the text. And so he's like, he can't even pick up his own damn fucking book because he's married. So hamstrung, like no power in that. Like any normal guy would be like, hey, I left my book. I'll come by, pick it up tomorrow. Or, when's a good time? But the amount of, they don't have any freedom to move around. They're pretty much hamstrung. Um, it's kind of funny to me, but if I were in love with a guy like that, it would break my freaking heart and I would just be crying about it. So I can't do it. Um, I do not approve of people who sleep around with married men, but I have friends who have done it, and I just watch from afar as to like observe. It's like, why would you do that? But eventually the women get to a point also where they're like, I want a guy who's actually available to me. So those are my thoughts on married men. And again, just seeing my parents break up over the my dad didn't come home a lot. He was gone a lot because of his mistresses and his affairs. And there's at least one child he had out of wedlock. I don't know, there could be more. He took no responsibility for. You know, there's nothing beautiful that came out of what he did. And maybe for some men there is. This is my third time making this video. I don't know if I already said it, but when the last few months of my marriage, I opened up my marriage and I did have sex with other men. And I told my husband, I'm going to have sex with other men because I do not like how you're neglecting me in bed. And I am going to have sex with other men. I was so pissed off. And I did. And that's when I saw how much more sensual and passionate and connected other men were with me and emotionally attuned. And that's when I went back to him and I said, these men don't even know me. And you're my husband. You need to step it up emotionally in the bedroom. You need to step it up. And I knew I would piss him off. I was so mad. And he was so upset. He slept in the other room that night and he tried, but he just couldn't. And that is what helped me see that my marriage was done. It helped me see that what I was getting in bed in my marriage was not adequate at all, that there was so much more available that men can give and can offer to a woman. And that was my new standard. And after I divorced my husband, I made a vow to myself that I will never again be with a man who doesn't care how I feel. So sometimes having an affair can help people see what they're missing. It can be a stepping stone. It can be like, oh, I deserve more. This is what's possible for me. This is what's available. This kind of treatment is available. And I have been missing out. And if my spouse doesn't want to give me the same level of love and affection, I don't really want to be with a spouse anymore. So it can be a step towards progress. But just the idea of just sneaking around for the hell of it, like I was honest about it. I'm like, I'm going to have sex with other guys. Because we had gone to some swinger things. It came out of that after we were going to some swinger things. But to just sneak around, like I couldn't do that. I don't want to do that. This is just me sharing. This is, everybody can do what they want. It's just me sharing, give you some entertainment on a Saturday night. And thank you so much for watching my video.